February 15th, 2024. Let's mark this date. Our notebook has started to fill up lately. We are aware that historic days are coming one after another, but you can still open a new page to this. A bomb has been dropped. On February 15th, I wanted the fog to clear so that we could see clearly. In the first excitement, one cannot see everything clearly. What happened? So, OpenAI announced its model that generates videos from text. Just a few hours ago, Google announced Gemini 1.5. So why did so many events happen and no one is talking about them right now? Why? What do these mean? What are they trying to say? What are they trying to say? What are they trying to say? Let's see which stage of the simulation we are in. I said simulation, I know. Since the Industrial Revolution, it is necessary to constantly remember the deepest and most fundamental purpose of automation that began with mechanization. Initially, it was the automation of physical strength with machines, and today, the artificial intelligence revolution is in the stage of automating mental power, which is the final link of this purpose that started 200 years ago. We are in the past. The automation of physical processes also began in a painful way. We experienced a relatively smooth socio-economic transition. The capacity of the machines was known. The job to be done was clear. Have you ever seen an automatic combine harvester that hallucinates? Those of us who closely follow today's revolution are in a strange panic. This time, it's exactly this. The process is so multidimensional, so complex, so incomprehensible that it is expected from the automation of mental power. It is a kind of fragmented simulation of the brain. That's why I'm not calling it a simulation happening today. Firstly, deep learning, machine learning, etc., have been worked on for a long time, and machines are used in many games like chess. They are leaving people behind. The transition to models like ChatGPT, DALL-E, etc. marks a threshold. Now we are talking about what GPT-5 can do. Now we are talking about what GPT-5 can do and what GPT-5 can do. Do you know? Yes, sometimes I feel sorry for Google. Actually, even a little, because they have seriously improved Samina, which I mentioned before, within a few months, and I'll look into the details in a moment. They have come up with an incredible model and announced it. It's strange to have a 10 million token context window on February 15th. Normally, all artificial intelligence media should have examined this, but OpenAI dropped the bomb a few hours after this announcement. According to some rumors, OpenAI had been holding on to this announcement since March of last year, and it really had a bombshell effect. Do you know that the exaggerations of the EU are not entirely unfounded? Speaking of which, let's get directly to the point. Sora is a model that generates high-quality videos from text. But aren't there countless models about this? Google recently announced Lumi. There's a summit, an event, a podium, Leonardo, Last Frame. There are already many models that make videos on the market. Why did it stir things up? Because Open did something. We don't know the exact background of it. They don't give it to us. But they did something. There's something different. We'll speculate on that in a moment. But if you want to understand what I mean, let's compare a cat video produced with these models I listed earlier. You'll understand what I mean. These are the peak podium videos produced by these, right? Do you see the meticulousness, realism, and fluency in details? That's why there's a job. What is it? Now, since OpenAI didn't publish a detailed technical document here, we all need to make some connections together. Then, first of all, a model that combines a diffusion model like DALL-E 3 with a transformer architecture like ChatGPT. In this mixture, ChatGPT is used not only to generate text, but also to teach videos. What inspired OpenAI here was Google DeepM working on visual transformers and thus making videos possible. Or images can be thought of as a pile of pixels, but we can understand this from the limited technical report shared by Open. This is a diffusion transformer. It combines the architecture of diffusion models that create doll-like images with the power of trafo ceiling models that can connect like ChatGPT. We clearly see that it adds a material to this famous recipe. A master chef adds something to a well-known dish and creates something entirely different. No one can catch that taste. This is called the chef's special recipe. But of course, those experienced in the field have put forward some hypotheses. According to some, the training of this model comes from game engines like Unreal Engine 5. Of course, the data sets it feeds, officially or unofficially, are also subject to discussion. Some say it uses YouTube, TikTok, and so on. Tags, subtitles, and descriptions are public. Even those who watch these videos can leave traces of your videos. You may remember that we looked at the dark sides of this in the video on how artificial intelligence creates vision, and although we don't know exactly how they do it, the results are like this. Meanwhile, after selected individuals were allowed to use question after the first announcement, you may have seen this. Videos also emerged, and through experiments, some strange things are slowly coming to light. Just thinking that some of these are not real makes you think, but what's more, in the meantime, videos can even present a static photo when directly fed with visuals. For example, they can present other videos. They can create other videos. We're creating a loop from this video. You can extend it, even overlap it, as you can see in this drone butterfly example. And although it's a video model, according to some sources, the visual creation ability of DALL-E and Midjourney is better. And considering all these, by doing this in a general and scalable way, it can be renewed, which makes it different from many of its competitors. The doors opened by technology are incredible, and more importantly, as we increase processing power, the quality of the video increases exponentially. This brings us to the issue of processing power. Sam Altman probably mentioned the need for a $7 trillion source because of this. Because NVIDIA has such a monopoly in this area. You look at NVIDIA to take a step in this area. OpenAI is looking for a solution to this. Anyway, we said we'd open this up. Here's all about Sam's capabilities, and the video of Will Smith trying to eat spaghetti is from a year ago. And when we think about where we've come in a year, some say we'll start to see completely AI-generated movies and series soon. But the entertainment part of this, contents that cannot be distinguished from reality, will eventually lead to debates. This is already called the world simulator. Yes, it can be very primitive, but that's it. You can also call it a dream physics simulator. So, we have the first example of its kind, like the first complex organism born from single-celled cells. Because as Open said in its introduction, it not only understands the characters, objects, and concepts from the command you give, but also has a very good idea of how they actually exist. Moreover, it seems to be mastering the laws of physics while connecting the real world with the digital universe. Pay attention to the movements of the ships in the cafe. You will understand what I mean. Let's look at Open statements to support this claim a little more. Then they say that they simulate some elements of human, animal, and environment in the physical world. These features include three-dimensional consistency, object persistence, i.e., for example, the persistence of an object even if it leaves the frame on the screen, and beyond that, the ability to simulate digital worlds. This Minecraft world is also the dream of the Inquirer. In fact, it is first and foremost a physics engine fed by data. And if a clear sentence also refers to something else, then it will form the basis for models that can understand and simulate the real world. This, in our opinion, is an important milestone towards reaching general artificial intelligence. So, you understand where we are going. Reaching general artificial intelligence is a kind of entry into the matrix. Okay, the real question is, do we want to go there? Already, Samini doesn't have time for this 1.5 cm or dust. It seems Google could make a counter-move tomorrow, because something completely different can come from a completely different place. So, I want to quickly summarize Gemini 1.5 for you. Actually, let's talk about the most important thing it brought, which gives us an idea. The most important problem of models like ChatGPT and similar ones was the low perception capacity known as the context window. That is, such models have a certain data capacity they can process at once. To give a very general example, a model can process 10,000 words at a time and work with that much data. Gemini 1.5 has made a huge revolution not only in text but in the entire film. 11 hours of audio recording, a text that is larger than the entire Harry Potter collection, or 30,000 lines of code in a single file. It can remember in pieces and work with much lower processing power on such large data. In fact, it offers a model with a larger brain, not only in terms of memory and processing power. Saying Gemini 1.5 means a model that is much more competent than all the models we have. This is incredible. This is truly incredible. Google also has a bigger brain. So, as you can see, if you want to open another window and connect the topic to this, let's include the Q-Star project that Sam Altman is also involved in, which we haven't watched before. Said we created a monster, and we can say that. In fact, there is a trailer about GPT-5, or there is an incredible model of Open now, or there is a prototype of this model. It is very likely that GPT 4.5 will come before this. But in short, let me say this. When GPT-5 comes out, some thresholds for humanity will be crossed irreversibly. The digital universe is like this. We will see more brightness in this dust cloud these days. We will witness the birth of new stars and galaxies within this dust cloud. In short, let's say what's best for us, and let's stay tuned as usual until we meet again. With love.